Date, full of stories of the rise and fall of great kingdoms. But some kingdoms, even after it disappears, it is not erased from the memories. One of them is the kingdom of Yehuda. So how was the kingdom of Yehuda born? With what wars? With what betrayals? And perhaps the most important, how it reached so far. Let's open the dusty pages of history together. Birth of Jehuda, a kingdom rises. All the sons of Israel exit from Egypt, and it started with settling in Canaan lands. People who initially lived in tribes needed a strong central government. This need was met with King David. Thank you, King. David made Jehuda into a mighty kingdom and declared Jerusalem the capital. But his greatest legacy became the famous Suleiman temple built by his son Suleiman. After Suleiman's death, the kingdom was divided into two. Kingdom of Israel in the north, kingdom of Jehuda in the south. Yehuda kendisini tanrian and sekelmik halki alard griodu. But holiness did not always bring power. Civil wars, throne fights, and external threats began to shake the kingdom. Prophets in the kingdom of Judah. They were the most important figures to convey God's messages to the public. Yesaiah warned against the moral collapse of the kingdom. He called the people to justice and righteousness. Jeremiah warns against Babylonian threat. Kings who don't listen could not prevent the destruction of the kingdom. Hezekiel, he came to the fore as a prophet who consoled the people in exile. Prophets such as Micah and Habakkuk. His messages of justice and righteousness were conveyed to the people of Judah. They tried to prevent the fall of the kingdom. The wrong choices of the people and leaders brought the inevitable end. Jehuda's greatest enemies were outside his own door. Philistines in the west, Moabites and Edomites in the east. In the north was the kingdom of Israel, a constant threat. But the greatest danger came from the gigantic empires of Egypt, Assur and Babel. Manure 701 Yehuda king Hezekiah. Assyrian king faced the attack of Sandud. Jerusalem is under siege, but Hezekiah, by having their engineers dig a secret water tunnel, prevented the people from being dehydrated. Assyrians suddenly retreated. Was it a miracle or an epidemic that hit their army? History is still looking for the answer to this question, but Jehuda was not comfortable after this victory. Monandal 609 second Ushia. Egyptian pharaoh goes to war with second Necho and lost his life. The rise of Babylon was inevitable, and the destruction that followed. Memnon 586. The king of Babylon, the second Nebuchadnezzar, entered Jerusalem. The city was set on fire. Suleiman temple was destroyed. Jewish people exiled to Babylon. Yehuda was gone now. However, the deportation did not cause the Jews to lose their identity. They kept their faith in Babylon. The prophet gave hope to his people. One day we will return to Jerusalem, and that day came. 539 BC. King of Persia conquers Great Cyrus Babylon. He allowed the Jews to return to Jerusalem. The second temple was built. But Jehuda was no longer an independent kingdom. The generals of Alexander the Great and the Romans ruled the area, but a group of warriors wouldn't give up their dream of independence. Maccabees, Yehuda's last great victory, 167 before Christ, Empire of Seleucus. He began to put great pressure on the Jews, but the people of Jehuda stood up with the Maccabi rebellion. Jerusalem captured, temple blessed. Here is this event caused the birth of Hanukkah, which is celebrated even today. But Yehuda's independence did not last long. Civil wars and agreements with the Romans. The end of the kingdom. Misisi 66 Jews. A great rebellion against the Roman Empire. But this rebellion, after Christ, 70, Roman emperor brutally subdued by Titus. Jerusalem was completely destroyed. The second temple was destroyed. Jews scattered all over the world. The kingdom of Jehuda was never rebuilt, but that was not the end of the story. The Jewish people culture. He kept his faith and traditions. Religious leaders in Babylon and Rome formed the cornerstones of Judaism with the writing of the Talmud. Through thousands of years of diaspora, Yehuda's memory is not forgotten. Jewish people from Europe to the Middle East, spread from North Africa to Asia. The history of Judah shaped the identity of the Jewish people. Even in the symbols of the state of Israel today, there are traces of the ancient kingdom of Yehuda, the importance of the Star of David, and the Jewish faith today. All the heritage of this kingdom, 1948, the modern state of Israel, history and heritage of Yehuda. This became one of the cornerstones of the new state. Jerusalem is still Jewish. Christians. It remains a holy city for Muslims. The kingdom of Jehuda was destroyed, but his spirit lives on the stage of history. If this story has affected you, subscribe to our channel and continue to dive deep into our history.